evening. Welcome to Roadside Republic. We are coming to you live from Vadodara, right outside the iconic Lakshmi Vilas Palace. This is the home to the Gaikwad, the erstwhile Gaikwad rulers here in Vadodara. In fact, today Vadodara witnessed Gujarat Chief Minister and BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate Narendra Modi filing his nomination papers from Vadodara. In fact, this is one of the constituency out of the two constituencies from which he will be contesting the election this time around. And in fact, it was an interesting mix of proposers from a tea vendor to the Rajmata of Vadodara. And the roadshow, which was conducted by the Chief Minister himself, perhaps for the first time in Vadodara, witnessed large number of workers coming out onto the streets and greeting the open cavalcade of the Chief Minister. A show of strength as the BJP's man for the Prime Minister's job started on his way to file nomination papers to contest the seat of Vadodara. Accompanied by Anandiben Patel, Gujarat's senior-most minister, expected to replace Modi as Chief Minister were he to move to New Delhi.
वडोदरा मेरी कर्मभूमि रही है। इसी से 200 कदम दूरी पर ही मैं बहुत वर्षों तक रहता था। एक जनप्रतिनिधि के रूप में मुझे कार्य करने का अवसर मिलेगा।
He signed the papers flanked by a former Vadodara royal and a tea vendor. The political message quite barefaced.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी छोटे बड़ा का जो फर्क था वो मिटा के आज सबके साथ चल रही है।
Shri Narendra Bhai Modi has shown how he is supported by every class of the society, especially the women are also with him.
For the BJP, Vadodara is considered to be their strong bastion. But according to party insiders, there's another strategic reason why this constituency was picked up for the BJP's Prime Ministerial candidate. The party hopes that by picking up this constituency, it will also have a spillover effect on the adjoining constituencies of Anand, Kheda and Dahod, which were won by the Congress last time around. The Congress was quick to dismiss the Modi blitz as saber-rattling.
एक व्यक्ति के असली चेहरे को मुखों पर लगाकर छिपाने की कोशिश हो रही है। उसे अरमर्ज की दवा और देश के लिए चमत्कारी नेता बनाकर पेश किया जा रहा है।
The retaliation came swift and sharp, with Modi accusing the Congress of sycophancy, corruption and apathy, all in one breath.
इनको दिन रात एक ही विचार आता है, मैडम को खुद कैसे रखें। शहजादे जी ने कहा कि देश को एक चौकीदार की जरूरत नहीं है, 125 करोड़ चौकीदार चाहिए। क्या ये 125 करोड़ जो चौकीदार आप कह रहे हो, उसमें अशोक चौहान भी चौकीदार होंगे क्या?
As the publicity blitz gets more intensive, the accusations get more stinging. With Bureau Inputs and camera person Pramod Arya in Vadodara, Rohit Ban for NDTV. Well, politics apart, in fact, there was an interesting mix of proposers for Mr. Narendra Modi's nomination as papers when he went to the district collectorate to file his nomination papers from a tea vendor and to Rajmata of Baroda. In fact, we are now joined by son of Rajmata, Samarjit Singh Gaikwad. Interesting mix of proposers today. You had a tea vendor, you had your mother, Rajmata, also proposing. Take us through it.
Certainly a very interesting and well thought out mix, I think. But I think it also is significant because of the people he, I think, represents and the people who support him. Being from the royal family, Mr. Modi has been a recipient of good governance of Sayaji Rao Gaikwad, and he paid rich tributes to him post-signing. And the family has been very close to him and been a big supporter of Mr. Modi and all the governance that he's given. And we truly back him as being India's future Prime Minister.
Apart from the BJP leaders, what difference do you see in Mr. Narendra Modi as a leader?
We've got 12 years of governance in the state. The state has done incredibly well. Our country is in despair. It needs something different. It needs a great revival. It needs a great boost. Narendra Modi is the man who can deliver and do all of it.
Thank you so much. So we have Mr. Samarjit Singh Gaikwad, and also we are joined by the tea vendor who was one of the proposers, Mr. Kiran Mahida. किरण भाई, जब आप प्रपोजर बन के गए नरेंद्र मोदी की, तो कैसा लगा?
मेरे को बहुत अच्छा फीलिंग हुआ। अब भारतीय जनता पार्टी में नरेंद्र मोदी ने मेरा नाम ठेकेदार जाहिर किया, वो मेरा और इसके वो बयान ही नहीं कर सका। वो सन मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा था।
So there you have an elated tea vendor, Kiran Mahida, and also the members of the royal family believing that, it's the governance model of the Gujarat Chief Minister. That is something which has impressed the people of the state. That's all we have for you from Vadodara. It's now over to Aanchal Vora for rest of the electoral news.
Well, thanks, Rohit. It's not been a pleasant day here in Chhattisgarh. We were in Bastar all day. In fact, from Jagdalpur, we travelled all the way to Sukma. Unfortunately, 3 of the Cobra battalion soldiers of ours were killed by the Maoists, and the other 3 injured. Those 3, the injured soldiers, are in a Jagdalpur hospital, but unfortunately, we lost 3 precious lives today. Security arrangements, of course, have been enhanced because of the elections. Remember, it's always a volatile election here in Bastar because it's the heart of the red zone, and the Maoists do always talk about boycotting the elections. Let's have a look at this report that I filed after travelling in the region all day. Sukma is one such area of Bastar's Lok Sabha constituency that is known to be dominated by the Maoists. There is nothing new about attacks on security forces here, but during elections it's even more significant. That because these attacks are conducted in order to obstruct the Indian elections, an attack on the biggest exercise of democracy in the world.
A brazen attack on the Cobra squad early this morning. The specialized unit of the CRPF, around 50 men, were returning to Chinta Gufa in Chhattisgarh after having safely escorted officials from the Election Commission to a nearby polling centre. Witnesses say nearly 100 Naxals surrounded the party from 3 sides and opened fire.
इस चुनौती से निपटने के लिए बल तैयार हैं। इसके अंदर काफी गोलाबारी हुई है। इसमें नक्सलियों को भी निश्चित है, उनको भी नुकसान हुआ है।
Just a few days ago, the Maoists conducted this meeting in Sukma in South Bastar. Sources have told NDTV that intelligence inputs suggest at least 15 such meetings over the last month. Focusing on state failures, promises unfulfilled and instilling mistrust for it, the Armed Communist Party of India Maoist uses its cultural wing of these young boys and girls to spread the message. The opposition of the Maoists to the Indian state makes Bastar the most volatile, heavy-risk election to conduct. And that is why it's always the first one to go to polls, as the forces are fresh. More than 230 polling booths have been shifted from the Maoist-dominated areas to the peripheral markets, places that are easy to maneuver for the security and polling teams.
It is difficult to conduct elections in those interior areas because of the problem of course, the number of security personnel required, the problem of roads, road networks and all of the things.
25 CRPF battalions already exist here. This includes 3 Cobra battalions. Plus 140 companies have been called from central forces like the ITBP, BSF and SSB. With the ITBP, Rajendra Singh hails from Himachal Pradesh. He is one of the soldiers risking his life to make the biggest democratic exercise in the world possible.
ये अभी जस्ट जो विधानसभा का वही पूरा हमने कवर कराया तो हमारी तो ड्यूटियां रोल ही ऐसा है ड्यूटी का जो सब जगह हम ये ड्यूटियां करते आ रहे हैं.
We're in Dantewala on a bus full of ITBP personnel. These men have come from all over the country to help the state fight this election and to ensure that this election goes incident-free. They're risking their lives to protect democracy, but they say they're saddened that they're not fighting outsiders, but their own countrymen.
जज इनका है, धरती इनकी है, क्या ये देश इनका नहीं है, हम इनके नहीं है, तो हमें क्यों मारते हैं? सोचो आप.
Perhaps in an encounter, the gun would do the talking. But in private, the security personnel we spoke to harbor not anger but empathy for the tribals and those who chose to pick up arms. With Aanchal Vora in Bastar district, Soumya Menon, NDTV.
Well, we are here in Jagdalpur border, about 10 minutes from here. When we drive, you take a left and go to Sukma. Behind me, as you can see, is this check post. Now, these men, over the last 1 week have been posted here, not just of course this checkpost but many more to ensure that no liquor or cash can be transferred. They're checking all vehicles to ensure it's a fair election, also deep in this area, risking their lives to make sure that people have a voice. Now, tomorrow at 7 a.m. the polling here begins. All day people will be coming to vote. The only hope of people and the administration here is that incidents like these do not impact them and they do go out in large numbers and vote. We'll keep bringing you all of that, but for now it's time to go to my colleague Sandeep Phukand, who's been in another troubled area. He's tracking the elections in the northeast for us. Sandeep?
Thanks, Aanchal. Well, I'm actually, in Meghalaya. I was there in Shillong, the capital, which many believe is actually the music capital of Northeast. But importantly, 4 states, Arunachal, Nagaland, Meghalaya, and Manipur went to polls today, 6 constituencies in all. The big picture really is some of the veterans like P.S. Sangma, whose daughter was fighting Lok Sabha elections. He's come back to the electoral fray, perhaps to, regain some of the lost ground. Sitting Chief Minister of Nagaland, nephew Rio, who's the sitting Chief Minister, he's contesting the Lok Sabha elections. But the big picture is that there are 25 Lok Sabha seats if you club all the 8 northeastern states, and it's a fight between the Congress and the BJP. Traditionally, the Congress has been very strong in these areas, but BJP has really tried to make inroads, especially in states like Arunachal, by raising issues like border tensions with China. So that's the big picture today. But tomorrow is the big day with 92 constituencies that will go to polls across 11 states. Keep watching NDTV. We will get you live updates minute by minute, hour by hour. But don't go away. I promise to give you a much better I promise to give you a much better musical campaign to cut all that shrill that you would have heard from our political leaders.
Hello and welcome. We are coming to you live from Shimoga, which of course is in central Karnataka. We've travelled about 300 kilometers from Bangalore. We are at a roadside eatery. This of course is Obbatu, which is a Karnataka special. It seems that the price has increased to 20 rupees per piece from about 5 rupees about 3 years ago. The dal in this sweet roti has come down, and that, according to the makers here and of course the people here, is because of price rise. From this high-profile constituency, the candidate here for the first time fighting MP election is someone who Karnataka is very familiar with. This is a man who made it to the national headlines and consistently has been finding space for all the wrong reason. Call him the strong man of the BJP or the prodigal son from the south. B.S. Yediyurappa of the BJP is contesting the MP election from Shimoga and giving him a tough fight despite his corruption allegations and despite the support he enjoys within the BJP and also by the public by and large, it seems, is JDS candidate Geeta Shivraj Kumar, who has virtually brought the entire tinsel town, the sandalwood industry, the Karnataka film industry, to Shimoga to campaign for her, to make it a very, very interesting contest in Shimoga. It is a tall task for Yediyurappa. He was brought into the BJP despite criticism, despite corruption allegations. But for the BJP, they hope that the Yediyurappa magic or the Yediyurappa mantra will win for them many of the 28 seats in Karnataka. With 3 pending cases of land denotification as Chief Minister of Karnataka to allegedly benefit his family, Yediyurappa is hoping to be an MP for the first time. The 71-year-old, who walked away from the BJP after serious differences, ensured the party didn't win a single seat of the 7 assembly seats in Shimoga during the state election last April. We are crossing the beautiful Tungabhadra river, and this of course is an intersection between Shimoga and Bhadra, which is another area, an industrial area, and the candidate from this very constituency is BJP strongman, former Chief Minister Mr. B.S. Yediyurappa. Look at the crowd, you get an idea of what a mass leader he is. The bike rally, which is extending up to almost 1 kilometer with a lot of people who have come in to join, and they seem to be cheering for this person who is the candidate and hoping to win from here as MP for the first time. Mr. Yediyurappa, sir, among the many issues this election, corruption is one major issue. You of course have certain allegations of corruption against you. That has become an issue here in Shimoga, where your candidate opponents are using that issue. How do you respond to people when they ask you, your voters when they ask you?
I got all the relief from the High Court and also Supreme Court. Small cases are there. I am going to get relief in the judiciary. I got 100% confidence. This type of allegations would not serve the purpose.
The High Court, of course, quashed many cases in the illegal mining scam, but there are cases pending in the land scam, which you say are small cases.
No, that is only denotification. Being the Chief Minister, I have got every right to denotify the lands. And so all other Chief Ministers also done the same thing. I am not all bothered about that. And I have got 100% confidence I am going to get relief from the High Court.
Geeta Shivraj Kumar may be a new entrant to politics, but not the process. She is the daughter of former Chief Minister and four-time MP Bangarappa. They say behind every successful man is a lady, but behind this lady is her man.
They tell me everything, that love they have towards my father, that the love they have towards us. Being a woman, it's a plus point for me.
They all call you Shivanna here. Is Shivanna coming into politics?
No, Shivanna is not coming. Right now, only my wife is in politics. I think I just want to give her a space, and she will do. I think right now, the people's blessings are there.
Parveen, a worker in Shimoga's flower market for years, says price rise and corruption are the two big issues for her this election.
3 साल में का तो जब 10 रुपए रहता अब 100-200 रुपए हो गया अब उसमें महंगाई बढ़ रही है
बहुत अच्छे करने वाले आदमी को हमें वोट करना कहते हैं अभी मालूम नहीं हमें कोई भी डालने कांग्रेस डालने नहीं बीजेपी डालने के तो मालूम नहीं
AICC member Manjunath Bhandari is hoping to win over the political star and film star power.
For your kind information, Yediyurappa is not from this place. He is an outsider. I am the only person from belongs to this land.
Voters here seem thrilled to attend rally after rally of all parties, but most say they know which button to press on the EVM on the 17th of April when Karnataka votes. Radhika Iyer in Shimoga in central Karnataka with DM Kumar, NDTV. Corruption being a big issue here in Shimoga, let me go across to somebody who's been in the tourism industry for the last several years. Tourism is major here in Shimoga. What do you want from the new government?
ಹೊಸ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಪ್ರವಾಸೋದ್ಯಮದ ಪ್ರಾಧಿಕಾರ ಒಂದು ರಚನೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಈ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಕೆರೆಗಳು, ವಾಟರ್ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ಗಳಿದೆ, ಬರ್ಡ್ ಸೆಂಚುರಿ ಇದೆ, ಟ್ರೆಕ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ, ಅಡ್ವೆಂಚರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ, ರಾಫ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾನಿಟರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಈಗ ಶಿವಮೊಗ್ಗದ ಸದ್ಯಕ್ಕಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಯುಕ್ತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ, ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರು ಸೇರಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಧಿಕಾರ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ.
Okay, there are several waterfalls here. The Joke Falls, a famous one in India, of course, is here in Shimoga district, and they say that environment should be given importance by the new government. What does the urban voter want?
Urban
new MP.
New MP, we want infrastructure development, industrial development, IT sector, industry, new IT sector has to be improved, and the new IT company should come to Shimoga to give employment.
However, it seems that there is an IT firm here, an IT edifice which has come up, but there are no IT companies. That they say is a loss. Some young people here, what do you want when you cast your vote? Will you look at corruption? What will you vote for?
Yeah, of course, I'll look at corruption so that
an issue, okay?
Yeah, as an issue, so that Shimoga is potential. Actually, we are having good dams like Tunga, Bhadra, and all, but still there are so much of road problems that should be broadened and repaired, and parks, especially in one extension, there should be having some park, and women harassment.
Women harassment should be controlled. Quick point from you. Yen beku hose sarkara.
ಹೊಸ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ತಾಂಡವವಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ನಿಲ್ಲಬೇಕು. ಜನರು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಆರಿಸಿ ಕಳಿಸೋದು ಭ್ರಷ್ಟಾಚಾರ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಜನರ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಆರಿಸಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಸಂಸತ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಯಿಂದ ನಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕೋರಿಕೆ.
Okay, ನಮ್ಮ ಕೋರಿಕೆ, and making an appeal that corruption should be stopped, making a request to politicians. Quick.
We need, but we have to, there is a more brain drain here, and we have to control over, we have to improve our employment opportunities so that we can develop our nation. And main thing is women harassment. We have to avoid the women harassment.
That seems to be the common point here, it seems, from all of these voters. So what the new MP of Shimoga will deliver is something they're all looking forward to, and also from the national, from the centre itself, the several demands that they have put forward. We take a short break on Roadside Republic, but up next is an exclusive chat that's coming up.